If I'm not this, then what am I? The failure to make peace with that is why somebody will be in a gang for so long. And I'm going to use gangsters as an example for this conversation, but it's a much bigger conversation than that, because in a lot of ways, a gang is like a cult. And I'm just using your archetypical gangster as the vehicle to drive the conversation that I really want to have. But let's examine that, okay? Because that's low hanging fruit. That's something that a lot of people could kind of look at and be like, well, why would anybody do that? Well, let me explain it to you, all right? So first of all, let's look at that person's life. Chances are the father's not in their life. That's half of your self-worth right there out the window. And the other half of it is coming from a broken place, because chances are that's going to be your mother. And there's a really good chance she's a broken individual. And I'm not saying that out of judgment. I'm saying that out of experience. And then you live in a neighborhood nobody wants to live in. It's embarrassing where you live. It's where all the poor people live. And you have this in common with all the people that are growing up in that neighborhood with you. Well, all of a sudden, this one thing that, all these things that you're embarrassed about and you're ashamed of, you find out that you have this in common with the very people that are coming from where you're coming from. And it cements y'all. And y'all begin to embrace it. And all of a sudden, that one thing that you made fun of me about, I'm proud of. And you wear it like a badge of honor. If this is all the world gave me, then I'm going to represent it. And that's where your gang comes from. And you start investing in it. But the currency is not money. The currency is, it's pain. You know, it's your youth. It's your innocence. You know, it's love. It's a lot of things. And you're putting everything into this because everybody else is doing the same thing. And all of a sudden, this thing that you were embarrassed about, it gives you respect. It gives you something that you can hold your head up about. It gives you value. You feel value in this. And so you keep investing in it. Well, one day, you know, you start losing people, and you start losing them to death. You start losing them to prison, you know, to addictions. And people on the outside are all telling you like, hey, this is why you should leave that. But from your perspective, no, this is why I should double down on this. And you start investing even more in it. And you invest so much in it. By the time you get on into your later years, nothing in life has given you as much value as that. So you keep holding on to this. And I'm not saying this to propagate myself as an apologist for anybody that's in the situation, because people in the situation, to their credit, would never want an apologist. I'm saying this because I've never been okay with people judging anybody that had to make decisions that they never had to make. But I'm also saying this because I want you to take a look in the mirror at the conversation that I just had and the picture that I just painted for you. You know, I started this with the question, if I'm not this, then what am I? A lot of us are afraid of what's on the other side of that question for different reasons. For some of us, it's the religion we chose. For some of us, it's our political affiliation. For some of us, it's a relationship that we have no business being in. But because we've invested so much of ourselves in it, it becomes our identity, and we're afraid of what we are without that thing. I challenge you all to ask yourself this question. You know, like I said, in a lot of ways, a gang is like a cult. But in a lot of ways, a lot of things are like a cult. And if you've had any experience with anybody that's involved in a situation like that, you can't change their mind by shouting them down. The only way you could change their mind is to have a conversation with them where they realize that even without that, they have self-worth. I just wanted to share these thoughts with y'all. It was on my mind. Thank y'all again for watching my videos. I hope this creates a conversation with y'all. Share it. But if nothing else, I hope it creates a conversation with the person in the mirror. Thank y'all for watching my videos, and y'all have a good day.